Hi there, and welcome to the Multiply You podcast, where we showcase top experts in their space and reveal all the secrets you need to know to multiply you.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Austin Clark here, host of the Multiply You podcast, where I search out or seek out and find experts in their space. A lot of my contacts, because I'm in pest control, they happen to be in pest control too, but we have just fantastic people on as it relates to finances, marketing, growth, operations, contact centers, you name it. And today we've got Andre Davis on of Swan's Pest Control. He's running two really successful shops out that way, and I'm excited to be able to introduce him here in just a moment. This episode, it's brought to you by my company, Moxie Pest Control. We're a national company. I'm located in Phoenix myself, and we just have had tremendous, I don't really believe in luck. We've worked really hard to create our own luck, and we've been very fortunate to be able to grow. And 2022 was a record-breaking year in a lot of different regards. And we would expect that 2023 will be no different. We want to continue to grow. Part of how we've done that is via acquisition. And, we've had a lot of success doing that. And it's been a really interesting last couple of years for the M&A market, just as it relates to valuations and interest rates and big players making moves and consolidating. And anyway, if you're out there and you're wondering what the next chapter of your life looks like after pest control, you're in the Phoenix market specifically, or really any market that we're on, if you go to our site, moxieservices.com, I would love to have those conversations with you. You can reach out to me directly on my cell. It's 480-254-9730. Or you can reach out to me via email, and that would be done directly to my email is aclark@moxiepestcontrol.com. Just like I said earlier, Andre Davis is on with us today. He runs two really awesome shops. They just expanded the last couple of years to their second location. And as he and I were kind of getting acquainted with one another, I'm excited for some of the things that he will share with us as it relates to some of his story and path, and also marketing. So Andre, he is the owner and operator at Swan's Pest Control, and Swan's Pest Control was recognized as a top gun in the county in which Andre operates by the County Advisory Board. So not only does he have a successful business, but he's also drawing the attention of the community and different boards and winning awards for that. So Andre, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for being here. How are you doing today?
Austin, thank you very much for having me. I'm wonderful. It's a beautiful day in Orlando. It's 70 degrees, nice and cool. Customers are great. Everyone is great. So thanks a lot for having me.
Hey, of course. Happy to have you on. This is the time of year. For you, it's all the time because the weather's nice. But me being out of Phoenix, this is one of the only times of year that I kind of get to thumb my nose a little bit at those that are living in the Midwest or in some of the northern states where it's just freezing cold and they haven't seen the sun in a couple of weeks. And so you've got great sunny weather there. I've got some pretty good weather here in Phoenix, and I'm not able to say that very often. Well, again, thank you for your time, and thank you for being on the show. Tell us a little bit, Andre, about your path. We kind of got to know each other a little bit before, but let those that are, patching in and listening, let them know a little bit of your path as it relates to being an entrepreneur and business owner and being in the pest control space.
All right. So, Austin, I started in pest control back in 2019, and it was 2009, and for one of the big box companies that there were the top 5 companies in the industry. Started as an apartment tech, worked my way up, and eventually my supervisor recognized me as one of the great guys that does apartments. So he was able to offer me a great deal to work for another big company because he had a buddy that works there, so I could do the sales. So I had to leave from Orlando to Pensacola for about 3 years to hounding on my sales skills. While I was there in Pensacola, my immediate supervisor recognized my sales skills and made me a great offer to void my non-compete. moved back to Orlando. So I moved back to Orlando back in 2017, started the company, and from 2017 till now, we have 2 locations, a lot of employees, and we're going strong day by day.
That is just fantastic. So you've been in the industry over a decade. There were people that were around you and supervisors that were around you that recognized things or saw things in you that is that kind of when your entrepreneurial journey started? I mean, did they see something in you that you didn't quite see in yourself, or did owning your own company, did you know that was going to be something that you would do, long before that?
Well, I know before that I wanted to start my own company because I went to school. I have 2 masters, one in business, one in human resource. But at that time, I didn't have any direction of which way I wanted to go. Did I want to use those degrees to go into corporate America and work my way up the ladder? Or I just wanted to just work for, just a regular company and just eventually stay there. So I have the business mindset, but I didn't have the direction until other people see that, hey, you have potential to start your own. And that's how the mindset came in. Because sometimes, even though you have a degree, you don't see what other people see. So I guess I didn't see it in myself at that time when other people did saw it. So, that's where the whole mindset came in.
Yeah, that's amazing. College degrees. I've definitely got opinions about them. I went to Arizona State University and got a bachelor's degree in business administration, and certainly learned some things there. But that was well over a decade ago, and there's just so many. There was a lot that existed then. There's even more that exists now. Just free resources as it relates to just online and YouTube and the things that you can learn if you want to. I mean, you can go to school and pay for the textbooks and those sorts of things, but there are just so many opportunities to learn for free anywhere in the world as long as you've got a phone or your laptop, and just no shortage of valuable skills to be able to learn. What was some of your college experience like, Andre? I mean, is that something that you're glad that you invested, a few years of your life and some money into,
Yeah.
or do you wish you had done something different? What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are, I wish I would have done something a little bit different. Looking back now, because I went to a private college. I went to DeVry University, which is now Keller Graduate School of Management down in Miami. So I went there from 2005 to 2009, and then I went back and did the master. So I was pretty much just dedicated from 2009 to 2012 just to focus on school while I was also working part-time as an apartment tech. So, but I incurred a lot of debt, right? $250,000 in student loan because it was a private college. So looking back now, if I would have known, I would have just worked in pest control, because you don't really need a degree to work in pest control. You just need to work for a company for 3 years, take the license. The degree is great, don't get me wrong, because, I have a lot of entomologist friends. So it gives you the knowledge, but looking back from where I'm at right now, I would have just worked for a regular company and then go that route, just get my license, just start the pest control. But the good thing is, I could say the business knowledge that I've gained from being in college helped me out today. So it's a 50-50 win.
Yeah, no, it really is. What would you say? So that's hindsight, right? It's like, well, if I knew what I would be doing, maybe I would have done something different, but it is what it is. What are some of the things that you learned while going to, college that are helping you today? I mean, one of the things that you said is human resources. I mean, my goodness gracious, if you've got more than one employee, you almost need to have yourself or have someone on your staff that has a human resources degree or a background in human resources, because of just all the current affairs and issues that kind of exist out there. And so I would imagine that would be extremely valuable. But what are some of the things that you learned, during your education that are helping you out today?
Pretty much how to deal with customers. So that's one of the big things you learn when you take a business course. Pretty much the business 101. How to start the business, how to maintain the business, and do the day-to-day ins and out for the operation. So the biggest thing that I've learned is in the human resource department, because you have to keep up with the times. You have to keep up with, especially with us that have a lot of employees, we have to keep up with all the labor laws, overtime pay. So pretty much everything that relates to HR hiring, firing, training, continuing education. We always have to know the law. So while I was there in school, I was fortunate enough to, I graduated with honors. So I got a free ride with the Society for Human Resource Management. A lot of companies know that SHRM. So they are the backbone that we lean on when it comes to HR policies and laws, because since we're not working for a big company, we're not, we don't get the paperwork that's saying, Chapter 582 changed a week ago. So you have, as an owner operator, you have to know that by yourself, or else you get a fine. So having an HR background kind of gives you the basics of what you need to focus on, and that's what's guiding me today in the business.
Yeah, I think our payroll company is the one that, sends us the posters every year. And I feel like, as far as compliance and, wages and FLMA and those sorts of things. And I feel like every year that goes by, every time they send them, I feel like there's another poster and another. I mean, we're like running out of wall space to be able to put these posters on. But it is what it is. One of the things. Oh, go ahead, Andre.
No, I'm listening.
So one of the things that we had talked about was marketing, and I'd love to be able to dig in that for 10, 15 minutes or so. What are some of the things that you either feel you've got figured out, or I mean, if you were speaking to someone that was looking to start a company, like where would you suggest or recommend that they focus, or if they've been in business for a few years and are just wanting to improve their marketing, what will you say to them? What are some of your thoughts?
Okay, so when I first started in the pest control business, even today we still do it. Even though we have several locations and we have it streamlined, we still do Craigslist paid ads. That's been working wonders for us. I know a lot of companies, they don't really like Craigslist ads, but that's where I started, and it's been working great since 2017. We each month we do about maybe $1,000 in Craigslist ad, and it brings in at least $15,000-$20,000 in revenue. So that's where I would say, if you're a new company, to at least throw some ads up there. They're like $5 for the paid ads, and then once you get it streamlined, you could always eventually do the Facebook ads and the pay-per-click. Now the pay-per-click will cost you some money because you're paying per click, and on average, you're getting about $18 to $20 per click, so your money could go by real quick. But the main focus would be right now on Craigslist ad and the Facebook ads. That'll get you going for a good little while.
So a lot of people, we've never done ourselves or experimented with Craigslist, and I heard what you said. It seems like a lot of people have either tried it and don't like it. I mean, what would you say to someone that's done it and didn't have a good experience? I mean, would you encourage them to do it again? Do you think that maybe they were not doing it long enough, or not spending enough, or why do people not succeed there?
I think most people what they're doing why they're not succeeding at the Craigslist ad, because they want to do it themselves. So what I usually recommend is you could just look at the competitor. The competitor is always on top. Like those ads, when you go to Craigslist, you type in pest control, you'll see like 500 ads, but there's always one person that's on top. So you look at how they wrote their ads, how they phrased the sentence in their word, and you use that as a benchmark to build your ads. But you don't want to copy it. And you could always reach out to Craigslist, and they'll critique your ads and saying, okay, you need to put this much keyword in your ads. Okay, you need to remove this. They will guide you through that ad because it's a win-win for them. You're spending money, so they want to make sure that you're going to incur more customers. So most customers don't know that you could reach out to Craigslist. They'll walk you through how to set up your ads, and for a little extra money, they'll even set it up for you and put you on a test, similar to like when you do a Facebook ad. You can run it for 10 days, 15 days, see where you're getting most attraction from, and then you focus on that area. So that's how we did it. We put every service on there, ants, roaches, spiders, millipedes, and we put them individual. And then the one that's getting the most calls, that's the one you focus on until you streamline that process. Then you just set it on automatic. You throw $100 or $200 up there and just let it run. And by about a week or two before the ads expired, you'll get a notification that, hey, your ad's about to expire. Do you want to renew it? And if it's doing great, you just hit the renew and you don't have to worry about it for another 30 days. You just keep the process going.
So your experience then, Andre, with Craigslist is that they also provide good in-house support and guidance to, like a rep to be able to say, hey, this is how these ads performed. Hey, this is what you spent. This is what you got back. This is what they do a pretty good job of supporting and analyzing the data with you.
Absolutely.
Good. Okay. Well, great. Yeah, we at least in Phoenix, we've never given that a shot before, and it's interesting as I've had more discussions with players that just from my perspective are doing a really great and not just in Pest, but are just doing a really great job as it relates to advertising and marketing. It seems that there's no approach that is the real clear winner. It's certainly a marketing mix, and more than that, it's just going all in on something. It's better to do one thing really, really, really well and focus on that thing rather than have 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 initiatives going on that you may drop the ball or may not be able to dedicate or give the time to it that it really deserves. And so there, some of the people I've been visiting with have kind of said the same thing. Like, look, it doesn't matter if you're going to be the local company and you want to sponsor all the high schools or all of the elementary schools. Go all in and put some budget behind that and drop off lunch and make sure that the PTA is happy. And don't just have your banner on the football field, have it in the gym and in the cafeteria and everywhere else that they'll let you put it. So that's kind of been interesting to learn some of those things.
Yeah, and another good thing that we do is there's a lot of realtor office all around. So you get a couple thousand cards from Vistaprint and just drop them off at the realtor's office, and I'm telling you, you'll get a lot of business. We've done that a couple of times, and every vacant house you see, if the realtor's good, you just want to find out when there's an open house, you just go and put your card on the countertop, and they will pick it up, and you will get a lot of calls. So that's another thing that we do, and it works wonders for us because there's a realtor's office in every shopping plaza. So especially down here in the Orlando area, there's like realtors are just like McDonald's.
They're all over the place. Well, and the thing that you said, Andre, that I really, really liked is, you think about what the mindset is of someone who just bought a home or just closed on a home. I mean, the first thing is that they've already got their pocketbook opened up. I mean, they are spending money out of their ears. I mean, they are connecting their internet and their water and sewage and trash, and maybe they did some improvements before they moved in, like painted this or removed some of the carpet and replaced it with hardwood. Maybe they're buying some new things for the home because they said, hey, once we move, we're getting rid of this couch and we're going to replace it with a new sectional. And so, if you can get in there, just like you said, somehow, some way, maybe it's a card, maybe you're able to find these people that are moving in on lists that you can acquire and call them or send them emails, find out where or how you can get some of their contact information. And yeah, they may have had pest control or some sort of home service already that they're going to bring along with them. But sometimes it's just like in the back of their mind, and your card or your voicemail or your text or email is there, and they're like, oh yeah, I forgot. We do need this service, and these guys are here. Let's go ahead and give them a shot. And so I really like that aspect of as well, especially because it's like a kind of a hot buyer, like they're ready, and they're used to spending money already, and they know that getting into a new place, there's usually a little bit of an investment that comes along with getting into a new place.
Yep, you're right. And I know there's another thing that we do down here too. I know a lot of when you first start out, you think everyone is a competitor, but I have a different mindset. When I see another pest control guy, I see opportunity. So that's the way I look at it down here. So I say I don't have competition. So if I see another bug guy, I'll go and give him a card and say, hey, if you ever get an overflow that you can't get to, or you have a job that you don't need, send it my way. If you need a percentage of it, I'll give you a percentage. And it's been that system that we set up, it's worked wonders, because we have a lot of customers, other bug guys, that they'll say, hey, I can't get to this rodent job. Go ahead and call the customer, set it up, and then, we'll talk from then. And they'll send you jobs because they can't get to it. Maybe it's not in their area, or it's on a weekend. So that worked for us. And I would tell anybody that's in the business, or even now, just reach out to another guy. You might be spraying a house, and next door you see a truck. Just walk over and say, hey, here's my card. If you have any question, concern, or you can't get to a job and you want to send it my way, and it's a two-way street. You do the same for him, he do the same for you, and now you guys are it's friends. So that's how we do it down here, and it's been working wonders.
Well, and this is the only industry that I've ever really been in, and so I couldn't speak for other industries really, or what they're like, or how what it's like. But for the most part, I mean, everyone in the pest space, just like you said, Andre, is really open and really willing to collaborate or pick up the phone, or give you their opinion about either a treatment or a marketing strategy or whatever else. And so from my experience and my perspective, like I said, and there's probably some people in every industry that either maybe aren't friendly or are more keep to themselves or whatever, but it's a wonderful industry to be in. Many people are looking to help one another grow and to thrive, and to take the best care of their customers possible. I think at the end of the day, that's what it's about. And in relation to competition, I mean, it's what's beautiful, to me about capitalism is what it does is it, competition produces a good or a service that's better than it would be without competition, and it drives the price down too. And so it kind of has everyone all the time on their toes saying, hey, we've got to have competitive rates. We've got to be able to respond to our customers quickly. We've got to be able to take good care of them, not just the first time or the second time, but every single time we're out there, because if not, and someone else is, if there's an opening there, then that customer may go. And, we certainly want to continue with that customer and have that reoccurring revenue and make sure that we're making them feel good and safe on their property and in their home. What about, it's not normal on these things to talk about failures necessarily, but can you think back over the last decade or so, either before you were doing your own thing, Andre, or perhaps since you've been running your own company, are there any either like big mistakes that you've made as it's related to your education in HR or business, or any big marketing blunders that you've had that you feel like you can discuss or talk about?
Absolutely. I'll say when we first started back in 2017, we went out and bought brand new trucks. We bought every equipment you could think of. We were ready. We bought termite rigs. We bought bed bug steamers. We bought thousands of dollars in all those heat treatment machines. And I mean, we spent I'd say good, maybe $25,000 on equipment, not including the trucks. And we were ready. We were excited. We're like, yes, phone's gonna be ringing. We went out and rent the office space, 1,500 square feet. It was a big, beautiful, got the decks, everything set up, and we're like, yes, we're in business. We went out and spent thousands of dollars on postcards. We sent them all out because back then we used a company, pretty much the big company that everyone uses now. And they tell you, you bought like $500 worth of postcard. It's going to go to this zip code, and it's going to be in everybody's mailbox. You get 1% of phone calls. So we fought for everything under the book. And about a week later, we're like, wait a minute, the phone's not ringing. Then it keeps going, and then after a while we realized, wow, we're not getting any calls because no one knows us at the time. We didn't have any skin in the game. We didn't have any type. Pretty much no one knows us. So we had all that equipment to pay for, and we didn't have anything to pay for it because we weren't getting any phone calls. So that was one of the biggest mistakes we made when we first started. I'll tell anybody that just started, don't go out and buy the latest and greatest equipment. Just buy the bare minimum to get you by, and then as you start to make the revenue, then you could eventually upgrade. Get you a used truck. Like, we love Ford Rangers, so we eventually got rid of the new trucks, got some used Ford Rangers, and now 5 years later, we upgraded all our trucks because the money's coming in now. Now we have all brand new GMC Canyon 2021. So that was the biggest money mistake we made back then, and we learned from it.
Gosh, I feel like I made that same mistake. We just and you talk about Ford Rangers, it kind of is like nostalgic for me. Our first year in business, we bought 8 brand new. I think this was like 2011 Ford Rangers. They were the old body style, and I was so proud of those things. And I think though that just like you, we overbought and should have had more of the revenue in and secured before we did some of that. And then they discontinued those Ford Rangers for a couple of years, and then brought them back. But they're not like they used to be, man. They are like a mid-sized vehicle. They are big. They're expensive. I think we paid like $12,000 or $12,500 for each Ford Ranger, just 10 years or so ago. And now I haven't looked to see what they run now, but probably much closer to the $20,000 mark. And also just 21. With everything that's 21.
21,000 to be exact, because we bought a lot of them. So we stick to even the older models, like all our Ford Rangers are 2009, because just like you said, when they come back a couple years later, the quality wasn't the best. But in 2009, they're impeccable. I mean, we have, like, right now we have 4 2009 Rangers, all white, nice and no problem. Then we bought 2000 Ford Rangers, and we had transmission issues.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. I love those older Ford Rangers. They were so easy to work on. They were inexpensive to buy. They were inexpensive to service. They were the best fleet vehicle. They were small, you know what I mean? But I mean, for what we do, you don't need to have a big payload or things like that. And so what if it's a little bit small? You just can't hire a guy or a gal that's above 6'2" or 6'3". That then you start getting into some issues. But those were the best vehicles ever. Andre, as we start to round this out, I want to. It seems like there's been a lot of things that have helped you along your way. Your education certainly being one of them. Who else or what else, as it relates to people and mentors or books or podcasts? I mean, what are some of the things that have helped you along your way to make you a better business owner and entrepreneur? To which I think I'd probably credit a lot of the success that you're having at Swans. What are some of those things?
I'd say I read a lot of books. I read a lot of Think and Grow Rich, and also my wife. She's a great motivator, because in pest control, you're going to have good days and you're going to have some real bad days. So you need that backbone, because even as a business owner with employees, some days you wake up and you have more bills ahead of you than you have money, and you will get down on yourself. But, when you have that person in the background that's telling you like, hey, it's just a day, you're going to get through it, just keep on trucking along. It kind of bring you out that funk. That's what I always call it, because, it picks you up and lets you know, like, hey, you're not in this by yourself. And then another book that I like to read is right now, David Goggins. This is a great motivating guy. I listen to a lot of Les Brown, and, they kind of motivate you, because these are guys that, they were homeless at some point, and they dug themselves out that hole, and now they're motivational speakers, and also Eric Thomas. So those are some of the guys that help you, like when you're really down, and, that kind of help you, motivate you to bring you around each day. So Eric Thomas is awesome for that, and also Les Brown. But if you really need a get up going, literally, just David Goggins, that's what I listen to every day.
Yeah, it is awesome to just like hear some of these people that are so determined and so motivated and so just going to succeed against all odds. It's like, man, if they can do it, maybe I can do it too. And I'm just trying to run a, pest control shop here. These people are crazy people. They're trying to take on the world and, fly to the moon in their car, sort of thing. Really, really inspirational and motivational. Andre, I certainly want to give you the last word. I, again, appreciate your time very much. As we kind of close out, what is a thought that you would leave with my audience as we're kind of rounding this thing out? And then after that, what is the best way for people to continue the conversation? Where do they find you on LinkedIn? Do you want to provide an email? And then throw your company website up there as well, so people that may be in the area that know you or listen to this whenever or however can get a hold of you too.
All right. So one of the biggest thing I want to say is you always got to stay motivated. Each day you're going to face different challenges. You just got to stay motivated and just encourage. Create a vision board for yourself, and every day write down a goal that you want to accomplish that day, and just stuck to it. Some days you're going to hit your goal. Some days you might not hit your goal. Just roll it over to the next day. Just always encourage yourself. Even through the worst times, I always say just look up to the sky and say, today might not be the great day, but at least I'm still breathing. So that's what I always tell everybody. You always have to stay encouraged, because it's going to get tough. Even when the money's coming in, it's going to get tough. So you just got to stay encouraged. And the best website I could say is swanpestcontrol.com. That's where you can reach us. And I'm also on LinkedIn. It's under the same thing, Swan Pest Control. But if you ever miss us, just Google us. We're all over Google. And if you need just anything, just give us a call. You can find our information online, and I'm always available to answer my phone. And if I'm not available, it will just direct to one of my sales guys or my admins at the office.
I love that. Andre, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time and the things that you've shared. I know that they've made a difference for me, and I hope that they'll have made a difference for many of you that are listening. Please subscribe. Please patch in every week. We've had great guests on, and it's every day is a little bit something different and very, very exciting. So until then, create a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Multiply You podcast. You'll see us again soon when you subscribe for future episodes.